Okay, so really quick video today because from my last post I realised how much I like to waffle. So I'm going to get right to the point, and following on from my mobility, and I really hope that some of you have found it helpful to aid your stretching and your recovery routine after teaching any Les Mills classes, and particularly body combat. So why is mobility so important? Well, it helps you recover, it gets circulation back to your working muscles. Today I'm going to talk about foam rolling and trigger point release really quickly. So foam rolling, this is now less about stretching muscles but more about releasing off fascia. So what is fascia? Fascia is the sheath that sits around a muscle that becomes really tight with lots of muscular contraction. The only way that you release off the fascia of the muscle is foam rolling, trigger point, sports massage, or osteotherapy, physiotherapy. Those are the forms of therapy. And I don't know about you, but I really wish that I was rich enough to afford to see an osteo or have regular sports massage weekly basis. But I probably go once a month, and these guys that keep me well, they are invaluable. I always use massage and osteo as part of my recovery routine, or as like a little monthly MOT. But in between those times, I need to foam roll, I need to trigger point. Okay, so what are the key things that you need to trigger point and foam roll for body combat? So trigger point, this is a grid, but any foam roller is, great. I find that this is more painful fun. So foam rolling, particularly for body combat, this is going to be your quads, your IT bands. Quads first, both legs, foam roller on the floor. Lay on one leg, so extend the leg out, and you might have the other leg just kind of bent to the side, and that's absolutely fine. And then as you're working, start from top of the muscle towards the hip, roll down, and as soon as you find a tight spot or somewhere where it hurts like you're pushing on a bruise, you know you found a tight fibre. So stay on that fibre. You might just need to move around. And don't move too fast. So we don't want to skim over the muscle like a rolling pin. We want to work our way through the muscle so that we can find the tight points and then hold the pressure on those tight points so that the muscle wants to release off. And it might take a while for the muscle want to release. Might do that on both legs. All right. But go slowly, don't go fast. Otherwise you're just scratching the surface. Okay, settling from there, IT band, side on, outside of the hip. The iliotibial band wraps from the top of the hip all the way down to the outside of the knee, and it can cause knee pain if it's really tight. It's the side of the foam roller on top. Okay, opposite leg over, lay from the top of the foam roller, roll down on the outside of the hip. Probably one of the most painful trigger points that you can hit. And then work your way down all the way to the outside of the knee. All right? And sometimes around the outside of the knee you can be super tight. So find the places that are tight for you. So you've hit the front, you'll do both sides. You'll do both sides on the IT band. Spend maybe 2-3 minutes. Next area, VMO, vastus medialis origin. Okay, so this muscle that sits over the kneecap and gives us fantastic quads, this gets super tight, the VMO. All right, for me, it's very much connected to how my hips feel too. So if my VMO is tight, my hips feel tight as well. And if my hips aren't releasing off with hip stretches, I'll go to my VMO because I know that for me it's a trigger point. All right, so for VMO, completely on my side, bend this knee, and then find the pressure point here. Yeah, you can tell by my face today, it's pretty tight. So in this position, move around the joint. You can bend the knee, extend the leg. Again, spend a couple of minutes. Do the same on your left side. All right, so one more thing. trigger point ball, a couple of areas in the body that we get really tight from body combat would be glutes. Now you can sit on the foam roller to try and the glute. It can feel good to release off through the lower back here. However, small surface area is going to be more effective into really finding trigger points in the glutes. So sit on the ball, sit on the ball, all right? And then in that position, cross your opposite leg over, stay on the trigger point, move around, find tight spots. Might make one you want to cry. This is generally around the glute max. The big muscle sitting on the back of the hip. Do that, both legs. Okay, then one more area which is fantastic for trigger point will be upper back. So round scapula, muscles that we get really, really tight from lots of rotation and punching. But this, simply against a wall, Trigger point, here this position, body against the wall, and then move around through the scapula, around the upper back area, probably your upper traps. They're going to be overloaded from keeping your boxing guard high. So try this as well. 5 minutes, upper back, both sides. Any questions, let me know.